This year, I got 20 platinums, and today I'm going to be rating all of them. I will be using 5 categories. Game of the year, only one game will go here, and it is obviously the best game that I played all year. Plat this, for games that are great and you should get the platinum for. Play this, but don't plat it. These are just games that are great, but the platinum is not so good. Good games, not great. And then finally, bad. The first platinum I got this year was Marvel Rivals. The trophy guide says that it takes 30 hours and it is a 5 out of 10. It most definitely does not take 30 hours. That may be something new. I think when I played this, it took around 60 hours. The trophy for winning 100 matches specifically takes a lot longer, or took a lot longer when I was playing. I think maybe they added a new game mode that makes it easier. And I think some of the other trophies are also made easier by new game modes. But when I was playing, all you could play was quick play, and some of these trophies were really hard, or were said to be hard. I actually didn't have much trouble with any of them. The hard trophies I got pretty lucky for and got them in like 2 or 3 tries max. I will say I was playing with really bad Wi-Fi, so I was lagging a lot. But overall, I really enjoyed my experience with this. None of the trophies are impossible, and it's pretty similar to Overwatch. Play as every character and do a certain thing with all of the characters, so most characters have a trophy added to them. I am kind of sad that they're not adding DLC trophies for the new characters that come out, but I guess that means I don't have to do them either way. So overall, I really do recommend this game. And I also recommend the Platinum if you enjoy trophy hunting, because it makes the game a lot more fun to have something to actually do, unless you play ranked, obviously. It kind of gives it a little bit of an extra challenge, and again, it's not really anything too hard. And as long as you play the game, you'll get most of these naturally if you play all characters. But yeah, I will definitely say plat this. The second game I played this year was Resident Evil 2, and here I went on a very big Resident Evil spree in which I just started platinuming a lot of Resident Evil games. This game is my favorite Resident Evil game by a lot. The trophy says that it is a 6 out of 10, taking 30 hours, and like every Resident Evil ever, it has a shit ton of playthroughs that you have to do. It's pretty basic Resident Evil stuff, completing the story with both characters for both scenarios, so that's 4 times, and completing the story in the hardest difficulty, as well as a lot of collectible trophies and a lot of more random trophies, like completing the game without opening the item box, taking less than 14,000 steps. 6 playthroughs may feel like a lot, but with a game like this, replaying the game is actually really rewarding, and like seeing yourself get better and beating it in harder difficulties is all super fun. I would 100% recommend this game, and I will say plat this. Continuing with the Resident Evil stuff, the next game is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I'll try not to talk too much about the stories of these games to not spoil anything, because honestly, the first playthrough you do and the first time you play through the story is by far the best one, and this is especially true for Biohazard. This has probably the scariest and the best story out of all of the Resident Evil games. The Platinum is not as good as Resident Evil 2. There is one choice you have to make, so you have to get 2 endings, but the choice is like super trivial and it doesn't really change anything of the game. You have to complete the game on easy, normal, and on Madhouse, get all of the collectibles, do that kind of stuff. The one thing that I didn't really like about this Platinum is that when you complete the game on Madhouse, you also have to get all of the coins, which is a type of collectible, in Madhouse again, because they spawn in different locations than they do in the other 2 difficulties. I thought that was a bit weird and a bit too much, honestly. I will also say that I'm probably biased when I say this, because I missed a coin and had to replay the game another time, so maybe the plat is really good, and if I hadn't missed that coin, my entire perception of the Platinum would have changed. But for now, I would say do not get this Platinum, play this, don't get the Platinum. It's honestly not too bad, but I will never do it again just because of that specific part. And I just also think this is not one of my favorite Resident Evil games, which may add to that. Like I said before, the game is probably the best first playthrough game, but then after that, it's not as good as the others. It's not as replayable as the others, I will say. After that, I got Resident Evil Village, or Resident Evil 8, obviously, the sequel to this one. This game was not as good as the last one. It is a little more replayable and a little more fun to play, but the story is just not as good. Sadly, the Platinum is also not as good. You have the obvious finish the game on the hardest difficulty, which is always fun to do. But the one issue that I had with this Platinum was having to get an S rank on all stages in the Mercenaries game mode. The reason why this sucked is because unlike Resident Evil 4, which I will talk about in a bit, the Mercenaries game mode is a lot about knowing where all of the enemies are and not actually about anything else. So as long as you know what you're doing and where the enemies are located, you will get the S rank, which I think is really stupid because I kind of wanted it to be more of like, I am trying to survive waves of enemies, or I don't know, it just felt weird that the whole game mode was learn where all of the enemies are and kill them, which is kind of stupid. So I will say again, play this, don't get the platinum, but it's just because of that one trophy. Overall, I would get the platinum except for that trophy. Also, when I say this, I don't mean that the platinum is trash, I just mean I would not do it again. All of these other games that I would say get the platinum, I would redo. I just have specific trophies that suck so much I wouldn't get them again. After that, I took a little break from Resident Evil and got The Last of Us Part 2. I already have this platinum on my other account, but I wanted to do it again because I love this game so much. There's really not a lot I have to say about this. I've played it so many times. The trophy list is super simple. The only thing that is a little tedious are the collectibles, but they're kind of fun to get. And also that, well, you have to play the game on New Game Plus for a little bit more to finish getting all of the upgrades in weapons. And what sucks about it is that you finish the Ellie weapons pretty early on, like in day 2, and you have to finish playing through all of Ellie's section to be able to do Abby's weapons. So that sucks. But other than that, it's a really good game and a really good platinum. It's actually my favorite game ever, so obviously this goes and get the platinum. It's not my game of the year because I played this when it released, so I can't really say that it is the best game I played this year because I didn't play it for the first time this year. But anyways, after that, I got the platinum for Resident Evil 4 Remake, which was pretty good. I would not say this is my favorite Resident Evil game, but I liked the return to the third-person aspect of it. I also liked the action aspect, which I know a lot of people do not like, but I thought it was fun to play as Leon and be able to do whatever you wanted. Same thing as always, playing all of the games on the highest difficulty, getting S+ rank again, which was not a thing for RE8 and 7, I don't think. But on this one's RE2 and 4, you do have to get the S+ rank on the highest difficulty, which means that you need to do it under a certain amount of time, and also you cannot save as many times. You can save like 3 times, I think. It's not that big of a deal. I usually, when I do these things, follow a guide from somebody that is playing it to get like specific infinite weapons or whatever during the playthrough, and it honestly is pretty fun. I would definitely recommend getting this platinum. I didn't have any issues with any of the trophies. The Mercenaries game mode here is actually about killing enemies that actually attack you and like come at you. You don't need to learn where any of the enemies are, and it is overall a lot better. The one trophy that I didn't enjoy much was completing all of the shooting range games, getting an S rank. That was not super fun, but I do recommend the platinum. After that, I got the platinum for the first Uncharted game. I do plan on going back and doing all of the other Uncharteds. I just didn't find time to do that this year. It is obviously a really good game. However, I will say that it is good, but not great. The platinum is okay. The collectibles are kind of annoying, and having to play the game on the hardest difficulty does make it a little bit better because it adds that challenge. But this game came out a really long time ago, and even though I have a lot of nostalgia towards it, I just kind of find myself not really enjoying games that are too old because they feel clunky, and this game definitely felt really, really clunky. And I had my fair share of bugs with it, so I would not recommend anybody platinum this just because it felt so clunky and buggy for me. But I can see why people love this game. Obviously, I love this game. I have a lot of nostalgia towards it. But playing it on 2025, I feel like the game is good, not great. Then I played Silent Hill 2 because it came out on PlayStation Plus. And again, this is another game that was good, but not great. I was very, very disappointed with this game because I was expecting it to be this amazing thing, especially because I love survival horror so much and I've heard amazing things about Silent Hill 2. It was just not for me. I love the story and the plot twist that came with it and meeting all of the characters and that stuff, but the fighting itself and the combat and the bosses and all of the enemies just felt a little bit too weird for me, which I guess is what the game is supposed to be, but I would have enjoyed if it was a little bit more different, which obviously that doesn't say a lot about how I feel about the characters. I just don't know why I didn't like it. Another thing I did not like was a few segments of the game really sucked. Like the prison segment was so bad and I hated it. I hated replaying it. It was just too dark. I couldn't see anything. And I get that it was supposed to be like super scary and a super scary segment of the game, but I don't know. It felt too impossible. Like I just couldn't see, and I did not enjoy that. Another thing I really didn't like was that all of the collectibles had to be done on the same playthrough. This is for the platinum more so than the game itself. but if you missed a single collectible, you had to redo them all over again, which I think is kind of stupid that there is no chapter select or saving of collectibles, especially for a PS5 game. I did enjoy a lot the different endings and how things that you do change these endings. That was fun, and the story itself was also super fun. But yeah, it's a good game, just not great. After that, I played Ghost of Yotei, which was an amazing game. I really enjoyed my time with this. I bought it for pre-order, and I was a pretty big fan of Ghost of Tsushima when it came out, so I was really excited for this one. The whole story was amazing, the combat was amazing, all of it I loved. I don't really have any complaints about this game. All of the trophies were also pretty fun to do and not too hard, and the game itself did sometimes nearing the end felt a little repetitive, just like Ghost of Tsushima, but that usually happens to me when I try to platinum open world games, so I will not put it against it. I will say get this platinum. After that, I played Dishonored, which was the game of the year for 2012, and I had never played it before, was pretty excited going into this. My first thing that I really liked, first impressions of it, were that the combat is absolutely amazing. I loved every second of it. I loved how you could go at it the sneaky way or killing people, and there are so many ways that you can just finish a mission. And I also love that they were divided in missions. Another thing, not a lot of collectibles, that is always a plus. Some of the trophies were pretty hard, especially the ones that required you to not be seen throughout any of the missions. But I didn't really like or enjoy the story. I didn't really know what was going on, honestly. It felt very surface level of a story for me, personally. I think it also had to do with the main character not talking that added to that, which I guess some people may like. I also really like the art style of the game, so that was another cool thing. I will say, get this platinum. It is a little bit tedious to do all of the missions without being seen, but I think it is overall a nice challenge and pretty doable if you have a guide as well. Next up is LEGO Horizon Adventures. I will immediately say, bad game. I hated this game. I played it with my sister, which made it a little bit better, but it was not really a LEGO game, if that makes any sense. The game didn't really include any building, you couldn't destroy most of the things, and it just felt like a high-resolution random game. Like, they made the LEGO game look too nice, if that makes any sense. Also, the one thing that sucks about this game and why I will never recommend anybody get this platinum is because you have to get the max level for every single character, which is a massive grind at the end of the game. And this sucks mostly because all of the levels are the exact same. Once you finish, there's like 4 levels you can replay, and you have to do them over and over and over again, and nothing really changes. The gameplay feels the same. And the story is not that good either. I mean, I skipped through most of it because I was not entertained at all, but I didn't think it was all that good. Again, bad game. I only played this because it was free on PS Plus, and I cannot imagine how disappointed I would have been if I bought the game myself. I will also say that I'm not a really big Horizon Zero Dawn fan, so I guess that also adds to it. Also, by no means am I saying that this game sucks and nobody should play it. It's just not my type of game, and so I think it's a bad game, but that's obviously subjective. So yeah. After that, I played Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. Amazing game. I had played it before, and I loved every single second of it. I got the 100%, so I played the game on Ultimate difficulty for the New Game Plus, and it was actually extremely easy. But just like a Spider-Man game, 100%ing all of the map and finishing the story, getting all of the suits, doing all that stuff. It is super fun. 100%ing it does not feel like a drag at all. The only issue that I had with this game were the crimes, because there are so many of them and it takes so long for a crime to spawn. At least it did for me, so that sucked. But overall, I will obviously say get the platinum for this. Then I also played Spider-Man 2, which I will also say get the platinum for this, but maybe not that much as I will for the first one. The second one is definitely a downgrade. The story was a little bit weird. The gameplay felt better and the swinging felt a little bit better as well, but not that much better for a game that came out that much later, if that makes sense. I enjoyed the things that they added gameplay-wise and transportation-wise, and how the fast travel points were now seen everywhere and you could just fast travel anywhere. And that the crimes were not a thing anymore. That was obviously amazing, but the game did feel a little bit more not Spider-Man-ish, if that makes sense. I just didn't like the story too much. Also, for Spider-Man 1, I hated the stealth sections, and I'm glad they removed most of them for Spider-Man 2 and also gave MJ an actual weapon. That part was nice. I'm not saying the game is bad. Again, I would say get the platinum. It is not a bad game at all. It's a Spider-Man game, but it's definitely, again, a downgrade. They could have done a better job of creating the switch between Spider-Man's mechanic thing that they added, as you could play as Peter and as Miles. And it would have been so nice if they had added a co-op. Honestly, if there was a co-op, this game would have been 20 times better, but it is what it is. Next up is my game of the year, which was Dispatch. I love this game so much. The story is amazing. The gameplay is incredible as well. I was not expecting to have such a great experience with this game. I will not spoil anything story-wise, obviously, because if you have not heard about the story, if you have not seen it, you should 100% play it. It is sort of like a Telltale-ish game. It's not really Telltale because you actually do other stuff other than just listen to a story. The gameplay is basically dispatching heroes, and it's kind of like you level them up ability-wise, so you have like speed, vigor, intellect, stuff like that, and you have specific jobs that you read the description and have to try to match heroes to said job, if that makes any sense. But I will not get into the story at all. You should 100% play this game. It is only like $30, and it is the best game I've played in a really long time. I'm overhyping this, but it's honestly so worth it. After that, I played Batman Arkham Asylum, and my god was this game hard. It says on PS Plus that it is only a 6 out of 10, taking 20 hours, but this was like a 10 out of 10, and it took me like 40 hours to complete. It was not a 10 out of 10, it was like a 7, 8 out of 10. I would not put it as low as 6 though, especially because of the combat challenges, which is obviously what sucks. You have to play through the story as in hard, which also sucked because I had never played anything in free flow combat mechanic wise, and it has a really harsh learning curve. But once I learned, it was so much fun. It's a really rewarding experience, being so bad at something and slowly starting to get better. And if you've never played a Batman game and are really scared to play this one, I would 100% recommend it. It is supposed to be the easiest one, or well, the second easiest one actually. It's the shortest one, but it is not as hard as City, I think, is the hardest one. Or Night. I don't actually know what I'm talking about. I've only played Asylum, and it was... I honestly do recommend it. I recommend you get this platinum even though it was so hard. I do not know if having the game on hard changes the difficulty of the combat challenges. I would assume it does, but I have no idea if that's true. So maybe if you play on easy, the combat challenges are easier, which would make sense. But who knows? I don't. But definitely get this platinum. After that, I got Life is Strange True Colors. I just wanted to play a chill game, and I have played this game before, but it is a really cringy, okay-ish game. I'm not gonna put it a bad game. It's not a bad game, but it's also not good. So yeah, I would say it's good, not great. The soundtrack is really good. The story is pretty mid, but I love a Life is Strange game. Sometimes I just need to play them, and so I did. After that, I got the platinum for Cat Quest, and it wasn't my favorite. I thought I was gonna like it a little bit more, but it did not hit as much as I thought it would. I don't even know how to describe it. You play as a cat, and it's kind of Souls-like, and you just run around killing monsters. But the thing that I did not like about Cat Quest was that, one, the map is trash. It sucks so bad. You have to like press R3 and then it just like zooms out. I did not like that aspect of it at all. The gameplay is also super repetitive. It's a pretty short game though, only taking around 12 hours to complete. But I would say it's good, not great. But I finished it in 2 days and 10 hours. So also I was playing a lot of Cat Quest. Maybe that also added to the fact that it was not that good and I was just playing so much of it. After that, I got the platinum of Killer Frequency, which was a pretty good game. I'm not going to lie, the first playthrough was pretty good. You have to play as this radio host in a small town, and 911 like stops working or whatever, and you have to then be 911, and there's like a serial killer going around, and you have to like take 911 calls. It's really fun. You have to make sure that everybody survives for a playthrough. There's also like a speedrun playthrough with everybody surviving, and you also have to kill everybody in a playthrough. So there is a little bit of replaying, and it is not a game that has a lot of replayability. So replaying it was not fun, but it wasn't too bad either. It takes about 10 hours to complete each playthrough. Takes about 4 hours-ish, and I did have a save file, so I could do it a little bit faster, but it was not too bad at all. The first playthrough was really good. Like, I would definitely recommend playing this game at least. Maybe don't get the platinum. The platinum is a little bit annoying, having to replay it so many times for a game that is so not replayable, because once you know, there's not really any gameplay. But yeah. And the final platinum that I got is the Hotline Miami platinum. This game is amazing. I loved it so much. But I will say a warning, if you want to get this platinum, do not do the PS5 version, do the PS4 version. There are two reasons for this. The first one is that the PS5 version is a buggy mess. Sometimes when you're playing and you try to restart the game, it doesn't restart, and it takes like 20 seconds in like a broken screen, basically. It just freezes the game, which is really not good for a game like Hotline Miami, where you have to restart so many times because you die so many times. And then the second reason is that you don't have to actually A+ every single chapter in the PS4 version if you downpatch it, which I don't think I would have done either way because it was fun to get all of the A+s, but it makes the game significantly easier. It was so rewarding to get all of the A+s though, and even though it sucked so much, I will say get this platinum. It is 100% worth your time. The game is, again, amazing. The soundtrack is amazing. And like, for sure play this game. Those were all of the platinums that I earned this year. Definitely my best year trophy hunting so far. But hopefully 2026 is even better. I have some plans to get some insane games. And let's see if I actually do them.